Hello, I'm Steve Tolliday and I'm going to give you some tipperoonies on how to lose muscle and build fat at the same time. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. So the first thing you need to know is that muscle and fat are two completely different tissues. Might seem obvious, but there are people that still think that muscle can turn to fat and fat can turn to muscle. So it's actually impossible to turn muscle to fat and fat into muscle. We can only build muscle and lose muscle and gain fat and lose fat. Unfortunately, we can't choose where we lose the fat from or where we put it on. And obviously we can choose where we build the muscle by training the appropriate muscle groups. Now you can train certain areas of your body to look slightly leaner. For most people it's going to be around the midsection. So if you to train your abs and your obliques, you could give yourself the illusion of a fairly lean midsection as long as your body fat is low enough. So anyway, 4 main things that you need to build muscle. First thing you need is a training stimulus. That will be your exercises. You also need protein to build and repair your muscles. We need water. And finally, we need energy, which we get from our food and beverages. Now, to lose fat, we need to be in a calorie deficit, unfortunately. So in other words, negative energy. So we're burning more energy than what we're taking in. So how can we build muscle that requires extra energy? Well, the idea is to be in a slight calorie deficit, so it's not going to cause a problem, i.e. losing muscle rather than building muscle. The more body fat you have, the more of a calorie deficit you can be in without it being a problem. But as a starting point, you want to be as close to your maintenance calories as possible, I'd say, because the extra calories that you need will come from your stored body fat. You need around 2,800 calories to build a pound of muscle, and there's 3,500 calories in a pound of body fat. So if you would stay at maintenance calories, say for example you needed 2,500 calories every day, you have that every single day and you stay the same weight, and then you start this muscle building fat loss thing. Okay, if you've got good genetics and you just stay at maintenance calories, say for a month, and you build a pound of muscle, that 2,800 calories will come from your stored body fat. Okay, so in effect, you've built a pound of muscle and lost, 4/5 of a pound of fat. So this is body recomposition. So just in case it doesn't make sense, I'll just explain it again, a little diagram here. So for example, if you need 2,500 calories a day to stay the same weight, and you build a pound of muscle over 1 month, you need 2,800 calories to build that pound of muscle. So that'll be an extra 95 calories a day. Okay, but because you're at maintenance, what's going to happen is your body's going to use the energy from your fat. It will burn your fat off. You'll use that, and in effect, after that month, you've lost 2,800 calories worth of fat, but you've put on a pound of muscle. Okay, so that's the body recomposition starting there. If you stay at maintenance calories all the time, just keep building muscle, eventually your body fat percentage will come down anyway. Okay, so you don't need to be in a calorie deficit as such. I'd say you're probably better off being in a slight calorie deficit. If you drop your calories too much, you'll start losing muscle eventually. So I'd recommend no more than 200, 300 calories a day deficit. Now, if you're new to weightlifting, as long as your training's good, you'll be building muscle the quickest. And you'll want to train each body part 1 to 2 times a week, 10 to 20 sets per week. And you'll need something called progressive overload, where you're just doing more than what you've done before. So you want to keep trying to increase what you've done. More weight, more sets, more reps. And that's going to give your muscles a reason to grow. Now, to help you along with your fat burning, I'd recommend incorporating some moderate cardio, just some walking, cycling. It doesn't really matter, just keep it moderate. Just don't go too hard with it, because you need your body to recover properly in between your workouts. And you want to try and make sure you're getting plenty of sleep as well, which is, sometimes it's easier said than done. You do need to make that a priority, even if it means kicking your wife out of bed for snoring, it's okay. Okay, so just a few tips on your nutrition. Number 1 thing, when it comes to building muscle and losing fat, you do not want to be in a calorie surplus. Okay, you'll build the muscle, but you'll also put fat on as well. You'll also need about 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Okay, next thing, don't cut out your carbs. I absolutely hate this method of dieting. Carbohydrates are your primary source of energy, especially with high intensity workouts, which is what resistance training is. Around 50 to 60% of your calories should be coming from carbohydrates, and you'll need a minimum of 15% of your calories coming from fat. So just tweak your fat and your protein a little bit. Carbohydrates, I'd stick to 50 to 60%. Make sure you're getting enough fruit, vegetables, and drink plenty of fluids. On average, we need to replace about 2 litres of water every single day. If you're having your fruit and vegetables every single day, you're probably replacing half of that anyway. Try and spread your meals out throughout the day as well. So in essence, it can be done. Depends on your genetics. Okay, not just for building muscle, but how much body fat you store. Stick to maintenance calories or just below. Okay, I'd recommend 200 or 300 calories below your maintenance. Okay, you don't want to go too mad with it. Like I said, you will end up losing muscle, which is not the goal here. The goal is to build muscle. Now, if you've made it to this point in the video, I'd really appreciate some good old honest feedback. Be brutal, I can handle it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found the video useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.